Okay, we are live, everybody. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Risa.
And we are here from We are here. My name is Bahzad. Your name is Risa. We are here streaming live from Yokohama, Japan. Welcome to the Naked Famous Denim live stream. It's a little bit early here, so the brain is just getting fired up. It's good to see you, everybody. It's good to be here. We're here to talk about raw denim, raw denim, raw denim, raw denim, raw denim.
What about raw denim?
And raw denim. You got it. This is the place to learn about all things raw denim, denim related. We're going to answer all of your questions. And we're going to hang out here and talk about our favorite topic here, which is, of course, raw denim. And as I've mentioned earlier, we are streaming live from Yokohama, Japan, the international space headquarters of Naked and Famous Denim. And it's a Saturday morning for us. Mm-hmm. And a Friday evening for many of you. So let's check in with the chat and see where you guys are tuning in from, and we'll jump into some topics because we've got some fun ones to discuss today. Some weird comments. There's something weird in the air lately, so I just wanted to address some of those things. I found anyways, we'll get into some stuff, but let's check in with the chat. We've got BD, the producer. He is in the house today. Hello, Gene fans. Really looking forward to this one. Selvedge Foundation for life. That's a throwback to the Indigo Invitational, where we attempted to take it over, do our own little takeover of the Indigo Invitational by sending all the Naked and Famous Denim fans over there to initiate control.
It was fun.
It was fun. We made some fun T-shirts out of that one.
I like that T-shirt.
Anyways, we don't have any more of those T-shirts on Tate and Yoko. It was the only graphic tee T-shirts we ever made for Naked and Famous. So if you got one, you've got a rare item, that's for sure. Shang Style, good to see you. Hello, BD. Are there still Selvedge Foundation shirts out there for sale? I don't think so.
But also, it was a rare batch of T-shirts, and within that, we had misprints too, so it was even rarer.
Yeah, that's true. It was like the word "the."
Yes, and then something else.
Yeah, but the font was wrong. For some reason, the font didn't load, and the screen printer made the screen with the wrong font. Anyway, I don't know how that all works, but somebody screwed up. It wasn't me. I sent the right graphic, and
font wasn't outlined.
I don't know how it all works. Science, guys. What can I say? Invis Ian's SF for life. You got it for life. You guys know that, and it's a real thing. It's not. This is not something we just say. It's branded into our souls. Yeah. If you're part of the Selvedge Foundation, it's for life. There's no getting out. It's like being jumped into a gang. There's no way out.
Okay. Except
a lot less violent. Just no. In fact, no violence. We support this percentage of violence. It's all about peace, love, and raw denim. Speaking of which, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but for spring summer 25, we're finally giving peace and love a chance. You guys know we make a vulgar selvage.
Yeah, none of that negativity anymore.
Out the window. Positive. So we're gonna. It's gonna say peace and love on the Selvedge ID. We've got a hippie psychedelic leather patch to go with it. It's gonna be all about positivity, the power of positivity, love and peace, and we're gonna spread that throughout the raw denim world, and hopefully and spread those messages out into the world itself. Let's make the world a much more peaceful place. But yeah, I'm excited for that one because every season when we don't do the vulgar Selvedge every season, but every time we do it, we're always like, well, what should we put on? And we're like, oh, maybe we should make it nice this time. Maybe we should make it nice this time. We're just like, I don't know. The people seem to like vulgarities, which I understand. I love a good profane word myself, although I can't let the expletives fly here on the live stream or on This Week at Tati and Yoko. I got to bleep those out because of the YouTube gods and such. But boy, do I love a good expletive. But we're going to keep it clean, and I do love peace and love and psychedelic and hippie vibes. So that's coming for Spring Summer 25, which you'll probably get the first taste of near the end of June. Near the end of June. We're going to be in Paris for the first round of Spring Summer 25 trade shows. So we'll be there showing off the new collection to our retail partners. And Risa and I will be there with our baguettes and berets and doing our best French impressions. French Impressionism, I think it's called. And we're going to be showing off the new collection. So we'll give you the sneak peeks while we're out there. I think we're out there over a weekend. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do a live stream that weekend. Just due to, I think we're there. So
the show is on the weekend.
The 21st, June 21st edition of the live stream will probably not be live. So maybe we can do something earlier that week or when we get back from Paris or something. Anyhow, we'll figure it out. Or it might just be a break. A break for us. We'll see. But we will definitely give you the goods on that one. And hopefully we can get Garrett to come out to Paris too, because Garrett's a good cameraman. And he can really do a good job of documenting the entire occasion. So watch out for the Peace and Love Selvedge and new products that we'll tease soon. All right. Topher Cobra, happy Friday from California. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Shank Salad Rice checking in from almost winter Sydney, Australia. Layering the Naked and Famous blush hoodie with Japan Heritage jacket today. Not sure what weight hoodie it is, but it's very good for layering. Fantastic. Yeah, it's opposite land in Australia. Well, much of the world, at least the Western world, is heating up. Down under, they're cooling down. It also, that sometimes makes for a challenge for us because it seems to be the only place that in the world that is doing that, where they have kind of it's a Western country really, but their seasons are completely the opposite.
Yes, I mean, anywhere in the Southern Hemisphere does that. But
anywhere?
Yes.
So is Brazil getting winter right now?
Yes, but the point is that, like, if you're close to the
Ecuador? If you're close to Ecuador. Equator.
It's just, it doesn't really matter. Whereas I think Australia is
far enough
one
down.
of a difficult market for us because their culture is like ours. But their season's opposite, and I always feel bad for them.
Yeah.
It's just like, we all celebrate, Christmas is in winter.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's in the middle of the summer. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just...
And when we're selling, like, super heavyweight jeans, sometimes our Australian customers are like, yeah, but it's the middle of summer for us, so that's not going to fly.
Can you get more lightweight shirts, please?
Yeah. Right. So, thanks for being such a dedicated raw denim fan. In Australia, even though our collections don't necessarily coincide with your seasons perfectly. Yeah. But we even in the spring, though, we do, at least for the spring-summer collections, we tend to still carry a decent amount of heavier weight options, or like maybe more classic raw denim items, mostly because winter in the Northeast, especially in Toronto, Montreal area, it drags on forever. Like, you can be into, like, mid-May and you're still not sure what the weather is going to be today. So,
but also, like, I mean, and jeans is something that it's like, okay, obviously there's the lighter weight, heavier weight, lighter color that's more summery or whatever, but it's meant for all year wear.
Yeah.
It's not really for... So, the jeans is not a problem. I think the tops are...
maybe the flannels and stuff.
Yeah, maybe in the like fall winter collection, sometimes all we do is like brushed, nice fabrics. And it's like we don't want this in the summer.
Yeah, it's true. Difficult situation. Arif, good to see you, my friend. Hello, hi from Chicago. Finally washed my Elephant 12s after 130 wears. It was time. Also very excited for my Craftsman Selvedge Canadian tuxedo. Ordered the zip Chore coat and true guys, I'm wearing that zip Chore coat Craftsman Selvedge jacket right now. I love this jacket. I've been wearing it a lot. Since last weekend, I've been putting this on almost every day. I just enjoy it a heck of a lot.
Yeah, it's a nice like weight, obviously,
Yeah.
but also it's just like not being denim jacket. It
Yeah.
kind of gives you like a, I don't know, brand new like it's basically a denim jacket.
Yeah, it's a
but
denim
it looks
jacket.
so different.
Yeah.
So it's just
It's got a
new outfit piece.
right. It's got a great. Anyway, let's do the fit check today. So I'm wearing the Craftsman Selvedge denim jacket. It's
Zip
got
jacket.
Zip jacket. Sorry,
Yeah.
zip jacket. It's got the pockets on the sides. It's got the Selvedge on the interior here. I've got the Wonder Looper double heavyweight T-shirt here underneath. You know, sometimes if I'm just wearing a T-shirt with jeans, I feel a little underdressed. So I like to throw the jacket on top, and because it's light, it's easy to wear. You know, I feel put together. Generally speaking, I like to, you know, there needs to be layers going on for my outfit to feel a little bit complete. You know, if I'm just wearing a T-shirt, sometimes maybe I'll put on some glasses, or you know, I need to have some kind of accessory on just to round out the assortment. But this, I think, really helps a lot. And
Yeah.
you know, even in the sunnier days, I don't feel like I'm wearing too much. And sometimes it gets too sunny, and you want to be a little bit covered because you don't want to burn your. I don't tend to burn a lot, but it can get a little toasty out here. And then completing the look, I've got my Easy Guy solid black Selvedge, so very monotone. And I also found that this jacket, I think it's because of like the mixed gray black like Grandrel weft on the inside. It works well with charcoals. It works well with black, so easy to fit in. I don't feel like Denim Dan. You know, mixing you know, different denim colors together. Anyways, I just find a very, very versatile jacket. And then on the wrist, my G-Shock. So that's what your old boy Bahzad is wearing today.
Your old girl.
Your old girl Risa.
is wearing the work shirt. This is like one of the oldest work shirts ever. I think
Maybe
this
the
was
first
the
season.
first work shirt that we ever did. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's my favorite. It's been like aging really nicely. I got a Wonder Looper Ultimate Pima tee on, and I got my trusted Strong Guy nightshade that I got from Bahzad. And you know, I washed these the other day, and some indigo came off, I think around like this area the most, so it's lightened, even though it's hard to see on camera.
Our fades are mixing in together.
Yeah, we're making a jean baby.
That's it, a jean baby. That's how you do it, everybody.
Yeah.
And what's this belt? This is a nice belt.
Yeah, I've been wearing this I got like years and years ago. I think from Aritzia, to be honest.
Okay.
I was living in Canada back then. And, well, we were living in Canada back then. It's one of the most worn pieces of my life, literally. Like, anytime I put on a belt for jeans. And now, because I'm wearing, like, your jeans and, you know, stuff, like, I always have to wear a belt. And I'm just really worried about how it's going to, like, kind of, you know. I mean, it is leather, but,
I think it's holding up pretty nicely. Yeah.
For as much as I wear, yes. And, you know, it also looks like a very, especially back then, like, it was kind of like only like a very fashionable brands are doing these kind of belts. So, like, it was not very expensive, but it looked expensive.
Right.
And I like that. And I'm kind of in the market for, like, looking for different versions of the Western belt. I don't know. I really like it.
The urban cowboy seems to be back in fashion these days. I'm seeing a lot more of this on Instagram. You know, for a while now, and still I think it's still there, the streetwear moved back into workwear. So there was a lot of like Carhartt jackets and boots and just that overall aesthetic. And I think a lot of it is turning in, not a lot of it, but there is a subsect of people who are like, well, I like the rugged, rough style. let's go Western wear. And so you're seeing like the urban cowboy now. Maybe they're not wearing like the full on, cowboy hat and things like that, but, maybe studded shirts and like, boot cutter flared jeans.
Yeah. I see a lot more chain stitching in the world also, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah. So,
that's a very like Western look too, I think.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like the Western look a lot.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let me know what you guys think. What style do you feel you're incorporating these days? I personally, I tend to like what I generally wear is a little bit more casual. Jeans, t-shirt, sweatshirt. Some kind of denim jacket. Yeah. Whether it's like something like this or a chore coat, like a longer chore coat. Chore coat I wear a lot. Hold on, you can see my Army HBT one right over there. So that one gets a lot of wear as well. But I don't go on like, I'm never like a full-on cowboy.
You just, the closest you've been was the groovy guy.
Yeah, groovy guy. I was wearing that for... Yeah. When I could wear it, that's what I wore for a bit. But, mostly it's like casual sneakers, jeans, sweatshirts, t-shirts, light denim jackets or denim jackets. Very, I don't know, maybe classic American, just casual. A classic American casual is the way I like to think of it.
I think we all are. It's just different sections of it.
Right.
I don't know.
I tend to mix in a little bit of military too. I like military stuff. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint my style exactly.
It is very hard to pinpoint your style. Like, and you just, obviously you have moods and things that you like. And not only is it like sometimes like something fits well. Yeah. Certain times of your life, and then just you go with it, I guess.
Right. Like I don't go full on costume. So like that's the thing. Sometimes on the other problem with it's not a problem, but the thing on Instagram is sometimes you see these very very curated outfits, and it feels very it feels very costumey, but then you go to New York or Paris or something. To be fair, whenever we're in New York or Paris, it tends to be Fashion Week. So we see a lot of costumes walking around. Right. But also New York, you just see a lot of walks of life there. So you'll see a lot of different style and fashion out there. Yeah. So some people probably just do live like that. And or maybe they're, one trend to another. But
I mean, it's nice to like have a theme sometimes to dress for. I think it's kind of like fun thing. I never do it, but like it's just I can see why people do it. Actually, it's just like for certain people, dressing in the morning is like an event. You're like you're putting on some things, whereas like me, I'm just too lazy. I just like comfortable.
Well, we don't go out that much, so sometimes it's we're just dressing for ourselves at home, which. Hey, you know what? It makes you feel good. Shang Style writes. Speaking of old Naked and Famous items, how is Maxim getting so many old Naked and Famous models in the videos? If we visit Tati and Yoko, would there be a stash of old stuff for sale? Maxim's been a Naked and Famous Denim fan for a very long time. So a lot of it is just from before he worked for us. So he's just got a lot of stuff in general. Is there a stash in Tati and Yoko? There's no stash. There is a B stock pile, which has grown over the years. So the funny thing, with every production, there's always a handful of that didn't make the cut. So those jeans get put on the B stock rack, and we got a big rack, and that rack grows, and so you can imagine 15 years of a handful of jeans not being retail sellable.
At full price,
right?
Like it's a good enough garments that we don't, necessarily like throw away or recycle or anything. But we can't sell it at full price. And on top of that, we have excess samples. We have mishemmed. Sometimes we hem the wrong jeans or wrong size or whatever, and then those go in there. It is an ever growing graveyard.
It gets dealt with little by little here and there, but the interesting thing about that pile is if you navigate through it, maybe I should get those guys one day to, do a video of the pile. It's a huge pile. It's like the rings of a tree, like the as you move in, the older pieces start to show up. Maybe that wasn't a great analogy, but anyways, you could do a little bit of archaeology through that pile and be like, okay, this is the 2016 area, this is the 2015 area. So technically, there's a little bit of stuff. There's a lot of bit of stuff in the warehouse, but it's a lot of a little bit of things. So
yes. And the problem with them going through that on the video is that everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, I want that thing. I want that thing."
Yeah. And they're all random sizes, and the biggest problem is like each jean has its own defect. So like trying to sell them makes it a little bit difficult because you have to, like, when you list it, you have to be like, well, this one, there's a little bit of an oil stain here, or this one, there's a tear in the fabric here. Like, so it's not just like it's not like we can just put up, and like the measurements for each thing is going to be different because they're from different generations. So it's a whole, it's a whole mess.
And it's like, it's not specifically written what's wrong with it either. We tried to do that, but like that was way too much work for no return at all. And so we just have to start from scratch. We're just like, okay, open up the jeans and identify what's wrong with it. So it takes a long time to do that.
Right. So maybe one day we'll get to the pile in a meaningful way, but as of right now, I don't know. Stephen Kopelcam writes, as far as his regarding his style, I want to blend into a crowd with high quality clothes.
Yeah,
I like that attitude. When I was younger, I think I wanted to stand out a lot more and just be like, hey, look at me. But now I'm just like, I want to be very incognito.
Because you learn as you age, like the people who are cool. They're not necessarily, like, putting in effort.
Maybe, yeah, it's very effortless.
Coolness is more attractive, too, as you age.
The effort that you need to put into effortlessness
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But it's also, like, I think it's built over time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's 100% an experience thing, and you have to go through those phases in life to understand, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and then ultimately, you've bought the things that you like because you like them. You wear them because that's what you wear, and you've ended up with like this, curated selection of nice things that will last a long time that you could just throw on. And I like the idea of this old thing. Just where'd you get that jacket? Oh, this is 10 years old. I've been wearing this for, or even longer. I've been wearing this forever, and it's just it's my favorite jacket,
Yeah.
So
that's like my belt for me. It's just like, it's not something that I'm like so excited about buying. It's from Aritzia.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that kind of like stuck with me. I didn't spend that much time thinking about it, but once it's in my life, like it just kind of fit.
Right. That's it. Okay. A couple things. Jeremy Didson writes, you should do a sample sale. I need some older releases, but in bigger sizes. My waist grew. Sample sale is, again, difficult to do online because with the B-stock stuff, every piece has its own thing. And so it's impossible for us to list, there's hundreds of jeans. So it's difficult to do an online sample sale unless you're completely okay with blind buying, where it's like, we say, hey, this is a Weird Guy 32. Which era of Weird Guy is it? I don't know. And what's the defect with it? You'll find out when you get it, and there's no exchanges and no returns. That, to me, I'm sure there's a couple of you who'd be like, yeah, I'll roll the dice on that, if the price is right. But what's going to happen, and unfortunately, sometimes life is dictated by maybe not the brightest of us all, But what's going to happen, 100%, what is going to happen is somebody's going to get that jean and be like, well, they don't fit. And we're going to say, well...
I told you it was final sale.
Yeah. And then say, well, I have a 32 in the weird guy, and these 32 weird guys don't fit. And then it's going to be a whole thing. And, you know, we end up dealing with enough of these kinds of people that it just makes the entire project not worth it. Yeah. So ultimately, we're going to have to find a good way to either do a sample sale in person, or you come to Montreal, make it a trip, or we have some kind of other online way of selling them.
Which I always kind of wanted to do some kind of like, you know, event, because we're a Montreal-based brand. We don't really have like a lot of direct, you know, interaction with communities in
Montreal,
in the area, and that's kind of a shame. But yeah, it's just a matter of, you know, we never have enough staff, and
right. We'll figure it out. Okay, Arif writes, also military with a jungle jacket or many different types of denim jackets, short coats types. Arif writes, I've been doing more Ivy/workwear blend style, and then also military with jungle jackets. Yeah, we do have a jungle cloth jacket also in the zip chore coat coming. Coming next fall. If you watch the This Week at Tate and Yoko episode where Garrett comes to New York, you see me wearing that jacket.
Yeah, you've been wearing a lot in the selling season.
Yeah.
The past winter. And I can see that you're going to be switching over from this jacket to that jacket. Yeah, that
jacket's going to get a lot of wear.
The temperature drops.
Yeah. I think the boys at Tate and Yoko are going to wear that one a lot as well. That's a great jacket that's coming up. You know what? Maybe I should go and get it, because I should show it.
Yeah. Is it? Maybe you have worn this in this live stream. Anyways, yeah, I saw him wear that jacket a lot this past winter, so it's gonna be a good one. And I think we're gonna do more of that kind of style as well going forward. It's just, you know, the fabric is based off of military, because military, they tend to like put an effort into developing, you know, things that are really like can stand the test of time, and this is definitely one of those fabrics where.
So take a close look at it. Hopefully, it should. You can see it's kind of like a tight twill corduroy. It's brushed on the outside. It's brushed on the inside, so it has a great texture here as well. And it's kind of like a melty feeling on the inside.
Yeah, moleskin kind of even. So, on the outside, it's more like, it does have the wales like corduroy, but it's uncut. Like, you know, it's not fuzzy.
Right. So you can see here, it's got a nice texture to it as well. And, you know, the way that we incorporate like these military fabrics, like we're not making, you know, repro military, you know, army jackets and things like that. No. What we're doing is we're taking the materials that we love and, you know, incorporating the style into something that's a little bit more maybe daily driver wearable, right? You know, I do like camo jackets and things like that. I definitely own some. But, you know, something like this, you could just throw it on and...
it's more of a modern take, Naked and Famous take on everything.
That's it. So that's coming in the fall. And, you know, if you're looking for a spring edition, get the get this one. It's a good one. Hold on.
Yeah, I gotta stitch something on your chest or something. That jacket needs a little bit of a maybe
this
customization.
One, I decided what to put on it. Because my name is Bahzad.
Right.
And that's a Persian name, an Iranian name. But the translation in English means born lucky. So I at first I thought maybe I should just write lucky, or maybe I could write born lucky. But I think Lucky is kind of because Lucky is kind of an old school name, old school nickname.
Lucky sounds like a dog's name.
Yeah, it does sound like a dog's name, but I think maybe writing Lucky or Born Lucky here would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, Lucky might be good.
Lucky might be good, right? Nima Samadi writes, are you Persian, Bahzad? From Iran? Never knew. I'm from Canada. My mom was born in Iran, but ethnically, she's from all over the place. So culturally, very Iranian. I could speak a little Farsi for all the Iranian viewers out there. It has proven to be not a very useful language in my day-to-day work and where I have decided to live my life. So, I lived in Montreal for a long time. French, didn't pick up very much French while there, unfortunately. And now here in Japan, after 4 years and a bit of living here, my Japanese has not improved very much, to say the least.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm a bad immigrant. Bad. I'm one of those never learn the language immigrants.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I guess so. But I mean, it's never too late. You can always learn.
It's true.
Or maybe just one of those like brain chip that makes you
Matrix.
Yeah, that's gonna come.
Or
that might happen sooner than you learn.
Perhaps, or I could just wait out society, and then English takes over the entire world, and then, if I live long enough, that will happen.
That will happen to the rest of the world way quicker than it would happen here, I think.
Maybe. Anyhow, I just have to live long enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you can just download the language by the time that happens.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I would like to do that. Diego writes, Kingsman warned us about brain chips. I haven't seen that, but yeah, they're
Yeah, I don't really know anything about that whole universe.
Kingsman?
Yeah.
No, I don't know anything about it. I've seen the
multiple
Blu-rays
movies.
in the store. I don't know much about it. I've never seen it. It's Trashman writes, I'm downloading Fortnite when brain chips come out. You can just download it today, actually. I think it's available on all consoles.
So you can play inside
your
of your
mind.
head.
Canadian Penny writes, we'll all be speaking Klingon eventually anyways. I have it on good belief that we're all going to be speaking German in the next 10 years or so.
Or German, Chinese.
Yeah, German,
hybrid.
Chinese hybrid, something like that. Canadian Penny, fun fact about Nerd Bahzad was when I was a kid, I borrowed the How to Speak Klingon tape from the library, the Mississauga.
What is the Klingon?
Klingon's from Star Trek. So there's a race of aliens called the Klingons. They're like the warrior race. And they had a very aggressive sounding language. And of course, Klingons were very cool to me as little nerd Bahzad, seeing the warrior guys. So I'm like, there's a language. So went to the library, got Klingon on tape. I would listen to it. And I don't know why I did that. But
do you remember any one?
I do, and I'm definitely not going to say that on here. I'm a nerd, but there's limits. So that's it.
The Raven writes, Lucky was in fact my dog's name.
Fantastic.
Wow.
All right. Well, there you go. A good name is a good name, and I think we're gonna put Lucky on there. The Raven writes, been eyeing your green duck canvas jacket, but there's no size chart. How would you describe the fit? The green duck canvas jacket?
Oh, yeah.
The denim jacket.
Why is that online? Is that online?
It might be.
I was waiting for the photos for that.
Hold on a second.
It was hidden. Maybe it got accidentally
Perhaps. Let's find out.
got published.
Look,
yeah.
There it is.
Jeez.
Sorry, let's go over to the internet
Is there
website.
pictures? No.
No, there's no pictures of it. So
And no measurement.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
We will
need
get
to
that
deal with
corrected
that.
for you, dear friend. And
Sorry about that.
fit-wise, you can expect it to fit like our other denim jackets. Of course, it's a canvas. It doesn't flex as much as a denim does, but it certainly will fade quite nicely. We'll have to get those updated. Yeah, somebody must have published it before we had all the products up on the internet site. So good eye. Rights W5 writes, immigrants in my shop use some phone thing where the person speaks into it and it translates to text on the screen. Yeah, Google Translate does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of apps that can do that these days.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's not as good yet, I feel. Certain languages are better. Yeah.
Certain languages better than others, but
I find Japanese to be very difficult in that kind of sense.
I see.
I often see bad.
All I can say is that just even the fact that we're close to something is very exciting. Because young me would have just been... I'm still flabbergasted by the stuff that we have today. And, like, I was a little technology kid. I loved it. I loved the idea of the future. I don't know if they have any... Because I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. But do they have... When I was a kid, there was a lot of shows about what the future was going to be like. You know, here's the technology. You know, you watch, like... one show I watched a lot was like the Computer Chronicles, and you know, they would talk about, you know, here's all the latest computer gadgets, and then they would go to like the trade shows and whatever, and you'd have people talking about the future, and here's virtual reality, and like, you know, you have those giant setups. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, that's going to be the future. We're all going to be doing this one day, and some of it came true, some of it didn't come true.
Thank goodness.
But what is...
What
do we have to look forward
in,
to?
Like, the car, you know, world. Like, this is the future of the cars, and, you know, I kind of still see that. Whereas, yeah, for the rest of the aspect of your life, I don't know if that's kind of... I don't know if people are looking forward to the future now. Like, I feel like there's more throwbacks to, like, this is how the things were back then, and so fascinating kind of thing.
Nostalgia is a painful drug. It's fun to look at, but it's kind of I don't know, is it heartbreaking in there when you look at nostalgia? You're like, oh, it used to be that way, or, you know, there's something about it that is a little sad. I love nostalgia, but sometimes, you know, it's just like, you know, you watch an old TV show, I'm like, the dad was 40 and has a giant house and 4 kids. I'm like, was that realistic? You know, like I always am just impressed by TV dads of that era where it's like, or like, you know, even the Bundys, like Married with Children. Al Bundy was considered, you know, the family was considered to be quite poor, and yet they had a full detached house in Chicago. And I'm like, I don't know if that's what poor looks like anymore. It's just
right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of
true.
Kind of weird watching some of these things.
But I kind of really find it interesting because when we were younger, like in our teens, like, we didn't like old things. But, like, teens nowadays, they love old things.
Because I'm gonna be boastful about it. Is because our old things were really cool. Our generation's old things. Sometimes I see something where it's like, you know, again on Instagram, you're just scrolling through and, wow, this is a personal digital assistant from 1999, and like, you know, it's a Palm Pilot, and like the person is just looking at it like it's an artifact, and I'm like, it's not that old. It's not that old.
Well, according to them, it is.
Yeah, to me, I feel like if it's got a screen and it's a portable computer, it's not that old.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'm old. That's what it is. That's the problem.
But even movies, like now, they just remake things from before. I guess they've been doing that for a long time. But it's like the kids' movies are all remakes. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, well, they've run out of ideas.
Yeah, I guess
Hollywood is not taking a risk on anything. Anyhow, let's swing it back to raw denim as we're talking about nostalgia. You guys don't know, maybe some of you know, but I love magazines, and I love old magazines. And here's a 19 guys, hold on, 1979 Popeye magazine, The Surf Boy, and this issue is all about surf and stuff. A lot of Australian surf stuff actually in here. Oh, look at that. The Babes of Australia, 1979. There you go. Check that out. Australian Big Surf. Nani?
I think this was published in 1977.
Oh, really? Why would it say 1979?
Because 52, Chore 52, I think it's 1977, right?
I don't know.
Maybe
It
this
says
is the future.
here it says printed in 1979.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Anyhow, a lightning bolt. This is a brand that still exists in some way today. My friend used to run this brand for a while, and it's been around for a long time.
They just put in this.
It's great. But as I was browsing through this magazine, and not being distracted by all the cool surfer dudes and dudettes, I found a really cool. Look at this denim outfit. There's this denim outfit, which is just, to me, it's like, when we talk about like the Left Hand Full Sky Blue edition, bam! Look at that. That guy. Look how cool he looks. That yellow t-shirt. That mixes such a great color combination. If you wear that, if you have to be a certain age nowadays to pull it off, and you're just like, wow, you're like a cool old dad look.
Yeah, and then with the belt and tucked in t-shirt.
Tucked in t-shirt. Look at that.
He has a Popeye t-shirt also.
And, the cuff with the Converse sneakers here. It was a good look then. It's still a good look today. Maybe not the yellow t-shirt for everybody, but, just this look right here. Even throw on a white t-shirt, you're gonna be just fine. But, just as relevant back then as it is today. And this next page here, I thought it was really neat because it's all raw denim dudes. And, I don't think they were, like, necessarily raw denim dudes. They were just denim. They liked blue jeans. So look at all the blue jeans and, like, graphic tees, American style, University of Hawaii. You've got a Bass Pro Shops t-shirt down here. 1979. These looks just as relevant back then as they are today. Men's style just doesn't change all that much. We're very easy, and like this whole page here of graphic tees, American graphic tees, just great. I love collecting old T-shirts, and hey, look at that! It's got a Cornell T-shirt. You know who went to Cornell?
I don't know. Andy Bernard.
Andy Bernard, and somebody else. But yeah, cool T-shirts, huh? Anyhow. I don't know how many of you guys collect magazines anymore or read them. I still do. I love them, and they're, especially these old ones, are a constant source of inspiration. So anytime I can pick up on something that I see in one of these magazines, it will find its way into a collection some way, somehow.
Especially because these things are not, like, you can't search for this online.
No.
Like, it's these information's, like...
It's only in the confines of this book with this very... I have to say the paper is held up quite nicely. It's not as fragile as you would think, but it is just like a newsprint kind of feel. Look at this. There's this whole section on American comics. Even back then, we're talking about comic books and stuff, and, today it's bigger than ever, but there you have it. Americana. It's as classic as anything can be. There was also one thing I found in here. I should have bookmarked it, but it was like a Budweiser ad, and I feel like I don't see a lot of beer ads in magazines anymore. Am I just not thinking that? Hold on, I gotta find it. There it is. That's an ad, everybody. I don't partake in the beers, but that's an ad. Just a big shot. Give me a big shot of the product. Mm-hmm. I like this.
In a man's hand.
A rugged man's hand. There you go. If you want to be American, this is how you do it. I really like that. So maybe this will be a continuing feature on the live stream. I'll try to find some cool stuff I find in some vintage magazines and share it with you guys, and we can talk about how relevant some of this information is what I like today.
But this magazine is that, like, they still make this today, and it's, for the most part, they haven't really changed. They all have the same styles. Like, obviously, there are, more trendier things than the others. But, like, just the gist of this magazine, or, like, that vibe, they were more... They're very casual.
Yeah. Like, for example, we just bought this month's issue yesterday. So, I still love this magazine. We continued to buy it all the time. Like, yesterday we bought 2 copies. One was like a
car. So we bought the brand new issue was about cars, like having cars in your life.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of interested in that. So it's all about like car life and
Yeah.
But it's just like, see, like it's the vibe is the same. It's very like, comic-y, like more, poppy. And like
often about people and their experience with the thing. Like, in this one they're talking, they have, the actual surfer guys, and they're talking about the gear and stuff that they use. So
yeah.
And now we're talking about like, guys and their cool car collections and stuff like that. So a very, very relevant magazine back then and still today.
I haven't gone through this yet so much, but I just found this old, not old, but like it's 10 years old.
Yeah, 10-year-old issue.
2013, so 11 years old Popeye magazine. Yesterday as well in a book, used bookstore. And they're just like, just as relevant today. It's 10 years ago, but it's also like, it's hard to tell sometimes that like,
This one, it says the 800th issue. Which issue is this one? Does it say?
Can I see the... Oh, see? Okay, I got it. So this is the... I don't know which one is the issue, but it's either... Like, it says 4.
Oh, volume
12.
4, 12. Okay, so volume 4 is probably the 4th year, and this is the 12th issue.
Of the 4th year?
Yeah.
So it's 48,
yeah.
maybe? Something like
That's
that.
how math works. Yeah.
I don't know. Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. Is that what it means?
Something like that. Mateo, are there any spinach recipes in that magazine? I haven't noticed any, but every now and then they do have a food issue. In fact, I have one issue from them that is the hamburger issue, which is just about hamburgers and all the wonderful places you can enjoy a hamburger in the world.
This one says 3812, and then if I do the math, it is 456. It's not 800. So.
I don't know.
Anyways, oh, you know why I realized why it says 1977.
Why?
Or equivalent of 1977. It's because I think that's when they started.
Oh, okay.
It still says 1977.
I see. So this is 2 years into Popeye's existence, maybe.
That's interesting.
Very old issue.
Very old.
Mateo writes, olives. There is a magazine called Olive.
Well, there was a woman's version of
Popeye,
this.
yeah.
Popeye. And it started much, much later than Popeye, and it actually got discontinued. But, like, a couple years ago, they brought back, like, a one issue of Olive magazine, just, like, to do a fun little throwback thing.
Right.
But, yeah, it was not as successful as Popeye.
Right, for men, right.
Yeah, but for a while, it was a big magazine. I remember that. Yeah.
Arif writes, I just started getting into these, just picked up an issue of Lightning, Workwear Edition. Yeah, Lightning magazine is another, I'll go get a copy of Lightning.
Yeah, they are, some of their issues, like a bigger issues, they are very expensive. They're more expensive now than they were when they were sold, and it's just, I mean, I can see why, because they do collect all the information and put it in a very neat, and you can reference it all the time. Like, for us, it's really important to, like, sometimes know a certain, like, background and details of certain garments or a certain style, and that they are very good source of those information.
Yeah, like here's an interesting one. It might not be so interesting to Americans, but I think from a Western perspective on Japanese people who appreciate American, lifestyle. This is the Daily USA, like basically an encyclopedia of the things that Americans like. And
use in their daily lives.
Right. So it is Americans like Bounty, for example. This is a product that many Americans can use daily and they enjoy. They also like U-Haul. The good people at U-Haul who provide you with boxes and the ability to transport your products on your own throughout the world. Mason jars, here you go, from the Ball company. They still make jars and things today.
Remember back in the days when everybody was carrying their drink in mason jars?
Yeah, that was, or Whole Foods, for example. Right?
Wow, Whole Foods old school. Is it old school?
I don't know how old it is.
Oh, I thought this was from old school.
Oh no, but
it's not that old, huh?
Anyhow, it's got here Americans like Hellman's mayonnaise.
There you have it,
and barbecue. So I do find this to be a great resource, just in general. It's kind of interesting to see what people's perspective is on another culture, but they do it in a very kind of scientific way, and we might think some of these things are just mundane and whatever, but if I'm not calling it Japanese people space aliens, but if space aliens were to come down and study human beings and from one culture to another, this might be the way that they would describe
yeah, but I mean,
the things that Americans like. So
yeah,
I actually have.
But it's like everybody experience that when you go to a country that you've never been before. Like you go to their supermarket and everything seems interesting. It's like, what is that for?
Oh, that's true.
This is so cool.
Yeah, sometimes you'll just see like a soda and they're like, it's soda. I'm like, yeah, but the packaging is cool. It's different. And then this is another company similar to Lightning called Mono. They have another magazine called like Mono Bros. And it's all like heritage workwear stuff, and this is another like America issue. So yeah, the concept of America. Here's baseball and leggings. There you go. That's
it's American as it gets.
That's it. What can I say? So anyhow, if you do get a chance to come to Japan, pick up some of these magazines. They're not all about America, of course. There's many topics, but the Mono Bros, the Lightning magazines, they tend to feature a little bit more of like the heritage rugged style, and of course a lot of that is wrapped around Americana. So they create these issues. So if you want to live the American lifestyle out here are the kinds of products that Americans use, so you can incorporate them in your day-to-day life and be more American. Jeremy Didson writes, using mason jars to make that moonshine, baby. There you go. Canadian Penny writes, it was neat when Garrett showed the reference denim for the Craftsman. Was its weft also gray? I don't remember if the weft on that one was gray, but I think mostly what it was showing in that, because in the Craftsman video he showed one of my vintage overalls, that one was mostly for the color. I just don't, or like I'd rather like how it can fade, how you can expect a workwear style denim to fade. It wasn't specifically the fabric that we used to reference the Craftsman Selvedge.
Right.
But it's in the realm.
It's in the same like kind of world where like back in the days it was just this kind of look was very very prominent. Like a lot of denim looked like this.
Yeah. This was Workman's blue.
Yeah.
Right. So even for spring summer 25, we're gonna have another iteration of like a Workman's style denim. Because even within this color tone, there's always a little bit of nuance here and there. And I was having because it's not like that, black indigo that you often see with raw denim. It's very blue indigo. And then sometimes we do like those lighter shades, like the natural indigo kind of colored blues. And Brandon was like, "Are those two blues like too similar?" I'm like, "They're not." Like to me, my eyes like they're so far apart. Like one is a little bit more jeans, right? And the other one is a little bit more, not a little bit more, a lot more workwear.
But
so,
also, we have a dark indigo denim, multiple dark indigo denim in our collection all the time. Like, why do you care about, like, if it's one dark indigo, like, or two dark indigos, it doesn't matter. But if it's, like, slightly lighter shade of indigo and similar, like, level, it's like, why does that matter when the rest of it doesn't matter?
That's true. But, like, for me, it's, like, these small variances, like, you know, maybe this is going to segue into something else. I didn't plan this, but it's going to segue into something else. To me, like, you know, maybe it's not so mainstream, like, you know, the colors are just, like, this much apart. But I'm like, yeah, but to me and to, like, the people we make jeans for, it makes a difference, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is a different vibe altogether, you know?
Yeah. And sometimes you can't even put a finger on it. It's just like something about the denim speaks to you, and, you know, slightly different version of that may not be the same.
Yeah, like this kind of denim, you need to use like cream or like white stitching for it. Mm-hmm. It just to me it doesn't make this denim shine unless you've got the right color stitching to go with it. But if you use white stitching on like a typical like dark indigo denim,
it looks weird.
I think it looks really weird. You know, those kinds of denims really need to have, you know, yellow, brown, orange, like bingo, like warm tones of cotton thread, polycotton thread. Otherwise, it looks off. You put red on there, you put white on there, it just, the whole thing falls apart. So, yeah, different kinds of tones of indigo require the right stitching, and if you don't match them up right, it's gonna look too weird. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, if I put any other color on this, maybe black would be okay. Maybe even then I'd be like, it's...
Yeah, total. I think it's fine.
Yeah. But I prefer a contrast, and if it's going to be contrast with this color, it's got to be in this realm. That's it. But again, I was talking about like the mainstreamness of, you know, just these slight variations, and we're not. Lately, I don't know. Like I had a couple of weird comments, and I'm not. You know, I'm not throwing shade on anybody, but let's go to Instagram for a second, because I thought this was a weird comment. And, you know, I posted this photo today. To me, I wrote, you can see what I wrote. What jeans are you fading this weekend? Here's some inspiration for you. A beautifully worn-in pair of natural indigo selvage, worn for 3 years, including 1 year straight without washes, followed by 4 to 5 washes thereafter. And I think, this is just my thought, that a lot of people who are watching now are probably looking at these jeans and thinking, wow, beautiful fades. They look great. Right? And then the comment comes in. Beautifully worn in, ? 1 year straight without washes. Guys, your jeans are really great. Thank you. But is this the marketing approach that appeals to the larger audience? Number one, this isn't a marketing approach. You know, rather, like, I'm not selling you on the idea of this is how you have to do it. You have to wear your jeans for 1 year straight. You have to wear them for 3 years. You know, minimum washes. You know, our advice is always do whatever you want with your jeans. This is what this person did with their jeans, and they happen to have come out beautifully. Other people can wash their jeans every week, and they can also come out beautifully. Different, but also beautifully. You know, but to me, this is the one that gets me. It's like, you know, appeals to the larger audience. Our audience isn't a large, like, we have 100 and change followers on Instagram, 100,000 followers on Instagram, right? But there's nothing larger audience about anything that we make. I mean, for our niche, we are, you know, we're up there. There are other raw denim companies that are bigger than us. There's many companies that are smaller than us, but, you know, we've been here, we've been doing it for a while, and I think we've of our little tiny world of denim, we're in the conversation, right? But there's no large audience appeal to anything that we make. It's all going to be niche for people who know and understand and like the kinds of products that we make.
But it's like, this person is saying your jeans are really great. So like at the stage of brand new, this person may appreciate what we make.
Yeah.
It sounds like that.
Right.
And that this person doesn't like is how we're like
highlighting fading content. Like you can like our raw jeans as raw and
exactly.
There's
and
people who like that.
Yeah. And we're not saying this is the only way you can wear this, but if you don't even appreciate the wear that you put into these jeans, I don't know if you can actually appreciate
like all that goes into it, because we are rope dyeing this. We are using very expensive yarn that is designed to fade, and that's part of the beauty of this. I can achieve the same raw denim look with using a cheaper, vat dyed yarn, and it won't really fade very well, right? We can. So anyway, maybe whoever's watching this, maybe you don't realize that, but I think part of what we offer is the evolution of our products. And of course, some people prefer things to look raw and clean. Got it. Yeah. And we cater to those people too. We're not saying that there's one way to wear your raw denim jeans. There's a million different ways to wear your raw denim jeans.
But the possibility of evolution is always going to be there. Yeah. That's the beauty of it.
Which brings me to my other weird one that I got recently, where I had a very adamant customer trying to convince me that our jeans were defective because they were bleeding. And I sometimes, sorry, I'm going to sound a little mean, but sometimes it's like I get hit by a car with the kinds of questions that I don't know how to answer questions that are asked in like the dumbest way possible. I have no idea how to deal with that. And it's like I just got hit by a car and I'm sitting here like, how do I explain this to the person who's telling me in one hand that they're a raw denim expert? I've been wearing raw jeans. I have 2 pairs of raw jeans. I know all about it. Got it. You're an expert. I just work here. I don't know anything about jeans. And that the fact that your raw denim indigo jeans are fading, bleeding on things, is somehow defective. And they're like, well, they shouldn't do that. I'm like, but they're specifically designed to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's never happened to me before. I'm like, well.
What does fading in your head looks like? Is it the indigo particle just floating into the air and it would just automatically just kind of.
Or like the idea that evaporates? The blue that your jeans that are designed to fade, that it wouldn't rub off on something?
Right, exactly.
Well, like, where is the blue going?
It's not fading because it's, just the frictions. It's
dissolving into the sun. Yeah. So sometimes I'm just like, I don't know how to deal with this one. This is, and you try to be nice and you try to explain the situation, and then of course, look, this is a very small number, very very small number of people.
Right.
But it's it just flabbergasts me sometimes.
But sometimes we also have to be really aware, because we've been in this community. A lot of us here and us obviously are just this. We've been into this for so long and we know about it so much that sometimes we forget that this could be just a person who just come across your jeans.
Yes.
And
100%.
Never really knew how. I remember being a younger person who I did not understand that jeans that you see are faded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That concept didn't exist in my head until I started paying attention to these things. So it's not I think we have to be very careful
Yeah.
of what people don't know. Like,
Yes.
it might not be a common knowledge. Or
Yeah.
even if it is, it's not something that maybe this person has ever experienced.
Yes, 100%. You know, the noob who's, unaware of things, I feel like that person I can explain things to. But to me, it's the adamant expert. It's just the adamant expert who is...
Yeah, that's true. You can't argue.
And I can't explain anything to you. You don't want to hear anything that I have to say.
Right.
Because you're an expert.
Yeah. And all you want is a money back or something like that.
Just tell me you want your money. Just say you're dissatisfied with the jeans or something. I'm still not going to give you your money, but it's not your money. It's my money now. But it's just, the stress that you throw out there. I'm like, it must be stressful to be you, just in general. But yeah, every now and then I get just the weirdest ones, and let me put it out there that sometimes when I talk about these stories, I'm not singling anybody out. There are often a mix of people and experiences that I'm putting out there, and if you're watching and you're getting upset because this sounds like you, it ain't you. This song is not about you. I bet you think the song is about you, but it's not about you. It's about many things, and perhaps a part of what I talked about may have applied to you, but there you go. I try to muddy the water a little bit, just to...
But, it's sometimes also, like, just, like, get these kind of questions, and it's like, okay, it might be, like, this person might be very young, they might not understand how things work, or whatever. But sometimes I wonder, it's like, why is it on me to have to teach you how...
Yeah, you just bought $200 jeans, also.
It's like, it shouldn't be on me to educate you on this very, like, basic aspect of human, like, living experience.
Right. But what is on us is teaching you about the product, which we have a lot of resources on. And if you've decided for yourself to ignore everything, like we just put out so much, I feel like we put out so much information, and you've ignored all of it, and then you made a purchase, maybe not knowing what you're getting into, and then having the experience that you're not used to. Fine, you could be not used to the experience, but then telling me how I'm wrong about how the product that we designed to do exactly the thing that it's doing is not supposed to do that. I'm like, it just drives me nuts.
Yeah. When it comes to jean things, like, I understand, like, people don't really think about jeans, but, like, sometimes we get things like laundry, It's like,
right.
Why is it, like, have you never done laundry?
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't your mom teach you about this rather than me?
Yeah. You're their denim mom. But it's, look, I think because the waters of, like, how to care for your raw denim jeans for so long has been freeze dry them, throw them in the fire. There's so much crap, and, like, people are afraid, and when they hear, like, just wash them, they're like, hold on a second. I saw an article somewhere that said that raw denim people never wash their jeans, and that they prefer to cryogenically freeze them every 6 months to get the bacteria out, and then they put them in the sunlight to get the pH balance exact. No, all that is nonsense. Just put them in the wash. Just like you wash everything else in your life, just wash your jeans. They'll be fine. They can handle it. If they were good enough for the miners back then, think about it. Those guys didn't have washing machines. They had a scrubbing board and a creek, okay? And that's how they washed their jeans, if they even ever washed them, and they held up. Your beautiful new energy efficient washer dryer that puts in exactly the right amount of detergent, it can handle it too. Okay? There's no problem. Philip Jonas writes, I wash my Naked Famous denim on hot as soon as I get them. That tends to minimize the fading. Well, there you go. Right? And this is true. This is one thing that I did recommend, because the person was a little bit worried. Oh, my jeans they're fading on my stuff. And I said, you can wash them. And he says to me, well, you market that you should never wash your jeans. And I'm like, we don't do that. We say in our tags, we say some people choose to wear their jeans for a long time to achieve these fades, but we have this live stream, we have all kinds of communication, and we say, hey, you they're your jeans, do whatever you want, okay? There's no hard rules. If you want your jeans to not fade, or not fade as much, some indigo is gonna transfer. You can wash them. It's gonna remove that loose layer of indigo right from the top, and then no, you're not supposed to wash your jeans. Like, what do you want? Do you want your jeans to stop fading? Do you want your jeans to fade? I can't make both happen at the same time. Anyhow, one of those weird situations. I writes, put your jeans under your pillow at night, and then the indigo fairy takes away indigo and leaves you a pair of faded jeans. Yes, you nailed it. That's exactly how it works. BD writes, you guys have so much info that it's all helpful, and I was just thinking yesterday how much this week at Tate and Yoko has changed my perception of clothing and all that goes into it. Yeah, the boys there give you a pretty good, sneak peek of what goes on, how the sausage is made, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, look, while there's a lot of technical details that go into our fabrics, what I think ultimately makes them really great is that you don't need to know anything, and that you can just buy them and enjoy them, and
you can do whatever you want with it. And sometimes, the thing is, like, certain people have expectation of what jeans does to you, and I understand you spend a lot of money on these jeans. You don't want to fail. You want to get to the point where you want eventually, and you don't want to deviate from that. But it's also like we can't tell you, like, there is no perfect recipe to achieve a certain kind of fade, and we can't write a script for your jeans. So you just have to experiment and experience, and that's part of the fun. And again, I understand you spend a lot of money. You don't want to waste the experience, but that's what you're paying for.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, right. So all you need to know, like, in all of everything, the only thing you need to know is that your jeans are going to fade. Okay? Unless they're specifically designed not to fade, which we will then indicate that these are very highly resistant to fading. But all you need to know is that these garments are designed to be worn and they wear down. And what we think makes them so beautiful is how they wear and age according to you and your lifestyle. So all the creases, fades, rips, tears are personal to you, and we try to engineer a fabric that can highlight that.
Yeah.
And whether we do it with a slubby denim or a flat denim, a lightweight denim, heavyweight denim, those will all affect the fade patterns in some way. But wash them, don't wash them, leave them out in the sun. Many of you never wear your jeans at all. You just collect them. It's okay. However way you enjoy the jeans, there's no wrong way to enjoy the jeans. They're going to fade. They're going to transfer indigo. But, that's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. The point of jeans is that you can handle it rough and tough.
Yeah.
It's not a, silk dainty little blouse. Like, it doesn't need to come with an instruction, and that's the whole point.
Right. Junior writes, I do collect jeans that I haven't worn. Don't worry, I collect a lot of things I don't wear.
Oh, we know.
we know you're out there. Look, there's a lot of there's a lot of different ways to wear your jeans. There's a lot of different ways to consume jeans, and some of us we're collectors, some of us are wearers, some of us are minimal wardrobe people. We got all kinds of customers, right? And, we try to make a product for everybody. Pedro writes, Mr. Smith said it best. It is inevitable. He was talking about fading jeans. It's true. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Okay, BD writes, Are you allowed to spill the beans on Vinny's jeans? Please don't spill the beans if you're holding out for the reveal. I'm holding out for the reveal, baby. Just stay tuned. Vinny's jeans, they're Vinny's jeans. They'll be out by the summer, or in the summer.
You'll know about it.
You'll know about them soon. Pierre Mara writes, I have plenty of jeans I have collected and haven't worn. We know, Pierre.
Yeah.
You
only have 2 legs, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
so.
Right. The thing is, bingo. Like what we get out of enjoying things is from one person to the other is very different. I've got a lot of collections, and some things get more used than others, but I'm happy to have these things in my life either way. Okay. Pedro writes, Vinny looks so small standing next to Vince. I was like, damn, didn't think Vinny was that short. Yeah, Vinny's
Vince is very tall.
Very tall.
Yeah.
Vinny's like he's not like a tall guy.
Yeah.
But Vince is big.
Very tall. I felt the same thing, and like watching that, I was like, wow, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
But
Vince is a big guy.
Tall.
Yeah. So again, like Vince is tall, Tristan is tall,
Terry is tall.
Is tall.
Yeah.
They're big guys. And we made the long inseam jeans.
Right.
We had long guy. Long. If you ordered your long guy, they're shipping this week. So they're going to be in your hands very, very soon. But they're like 6'3", 6'4", like that range. Tall people. We don't have like giants. If you're over 6'5", 6'6", you're a giant to me.
Yeah.
You're a big man.
Who is tallest? Is Vince the tallest person on the team?
I don't know. Maybe we should do a challenge. Who's the tallest?
Take off your shoes. Stand in line.
Yeah. There was what was that? It was oh my God, Nathan Fielder.
Yes.
He had before he had his show, his very, very, very popular shows. He used to be on Canadian political comedy show called This Hour, has 22 minutes. Every now and then they got something all right, but it's very, very soft comedy. And they had a fake reality show of America's Next Top Model, this and that, and it was like, who's the tallest, Canada? And it was just a bunch of people who are tall. They were like, they would have judges and
there's like a very short person.
Yeah, and a very tall person, and they're here in front of the judges, and the judges are like Canada has voted, and Justin, you're just not tall enough. And then the guy gets walked off stage. He's like, yeah, I knew I was going to lose because Mark over here was way taller than me. Anyhow, you got to go find it. Who's tallest? Canada. Nathan Fielder. Very, very funny. The Raven. A friend of mine's brother is 6'7", and it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I had a friend in 6th grade who was in the 6 foot range. In 6th grade. I mean, I was tiny. I was a pygmy. I was always in the class photo. I was always in the front row. I was just the smallest kid in class until mid high school when I hit a growth spurt. And so he was my best buddy, and he was so tall. And I remember going to his house, and his older brother was 6'7", and he had an even older brother who was 6'9", and I'm like, what are they?
6'9".
He was humongous. I went over to his house and he picked me up, and I'm just like, this is crazy.
I gotta find out. 6'9".
Oh, it's unbelievable how tall that is. I mean, it's believable because we've seen it. We've watched basketball before, but
205 centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything
over 100. 100. To me, anything over 180, which is,
Yeah, these are the guys who genuinely need the long inseam. If you're in 6'3", 6'4" land, our 34.5, 33.5, 34-inch inseams that we do make they're gonna cover you. But if you're above 6'5", that's when things get a little bit tricky with our sizing. Like, you might be able to get it to the cuff, but you're not going to be able to roll. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're really tall, look, I understand. Mm-hmm. But you're also like less than, way less than 1% of the population.
Yeah, and also it's just, like, it's not always about the height. Obviously, there's proportions. Some people have longer legs than the other. But also, it's about, like, where you wear your jeans. Like, do you want the crotch to be really up against your crotch? Or, like, you just want to, like, just want a little room.
That said, we are doing... So we did the pre-orders for the long inseams. And I'm doing a little bit of an extra production on top of that. So we will stock a little bit of long inseams in the left-hand twill and the solid black selvage. And, we're going to let this test run a little bit longer. There was the pre-orders for it. And then we'll see, hey, if we stock them, are people going to be attracted to this? Taller folks, if they are, then, maybe we'll expand that out a little bit further. We'll see. But to me, it's just like when we started adding 40, 42, and 44-inch waists, and people like them, right? There's an audience for that. I think we're one of the few brands that offers, like, the big sizes. And so, because we do it, we have a customer base. So maybe by stocking a little bit, not just for the pre-orders, but by stocking the long inseams, taller people, giants, they might reach out to us. One time, I'm not going to say which basketball player, but a very famous basketball player messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, do you have like long inseams? And I'm like, this is genuinely the first time that I feel like this person actually needs it. And I'm like, yeah, well, we do like 34s and this and that, but like this guy was a genuine tower. If they put him next to the CN Tower, you'd be like, which one's a building? It'd be hard to tell. Junior, was it Steve Nash? It wasn't Steve Nash, but interestingly enough, Brandon and I have had 2 Steve Nash encounters in our life. 2. Once, we were doing an event at Holt Renfrew, and he just happened to come in, and we were talking to him for a bit, and he was with a stylist who was very not interested in what we had to, what we were offering. She was like, no, you don't want these. And we're like, okay. And then it couldn't have been that much later, but we were in New York, and we were just like in a Walgreens, and we were in line, and he was right in front of us. And
I don't think I heard that before.
Oh yeah, no, Steve Nash was right in front of us, and he was being checked out, and like the person at the counter was like, oh my god, like you're Steve Nash, and like he's like, yeah, and he's like, oh, kind of being a fan, and like this old lady was like, is he famous? And he's like, yeah, like really, he's like one of the best basketball players. And she's like, oh, good for you, young man. Like, I thought it was pretty funny. But that's it. Those are the only times I met Steve Nash. Did you get a picture with him? I did not. But there is a picture of Brandon and me with Russell Westbrook. Did I show that last week? I might have.
We talked about it.
We talked about it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It's on the internet somewhere.
One time I was in Vegas for work, and my colleague, who himself was also like, I don't know, he would be like 6'3", 6'4". He's a very tall man. But he told me that like just Shaq walked by. Oh. I was like, and then I turned around, he was gone, but I saw a man who was very, very tall in the like very far away. Yeah. And I mean, obviously I couldn't get the grasp of how tall, but he did look tall. And maybe, so I may have seen Shaq in person.
In Vegas, it wouldn't be uncommon for generally famous people to come to the trade show.
Yeah. It wasn't a trade show also. It was like a hotel. Like,
we were
waiting for a taxi or something. So it was like very possible that it was him. But
Vegas is amazing like that because you will run into famous people very randomly sometimes. Like one time we ran into Chris Jericho.
Right.
And
But it wasn't random because they were having like an event.
Right, they were having an event there.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you just run into people. But this was in Paris where we were doing an event. Barney's was throwing an event for that Russell Westbrook Barney's collaboration, and we look at me, like a long-haired Bahzad. Young Bahzad.
Young Brandon too.
Young Brandon too. So this is, what year was this? It was a very long time ago. But yeah, this was us for that. And then I would see him every now and then. He would come to like the Vegas trade shows, and we'd say, "What's up?" But I don't think he remembers me at all. I don't think we're.
Who can forget Bahzad?
Who could forget me? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Carlos Ortega writes, "Will we ever see anything like the Army HBT Black? Was blessed enough to get the green one and love them." I can definitely see us doing that down the line. It's just, I think every season you'll see a little bit of military, more, like you'll always see kind of like a workwear style denim. You'll always see a little bit of military inspiration in the collection as well. So I'm going to say it'll happen someday. Okay. Pedro writes, Bahzad looking like Fabio on the covers of those books with his hair down. Yeah, except without the muscles. Fabio had all the muscles. I lack.
You're working on it.
I'm working on it. Pharmacist writes, Charles Barkley times Naked and Famous for the Godzilla collection. Only if God permits. We'd have to talk to him or her and see
only if Charles Barkley permits.
Sir Charles, let him know. I'm interested. Would definitely make that a part of the Godzilla collection if everything was, there's a lot of rights holders and things in this whole area, but
no.
He is the most fearsome of all Godzilla challengers ever. And Charles Barkley is officially in the Godzilla universe. Mm-hmm. So it would not be wrong to make that gene if possible. If possible, it would be one of my number one dream genes to make. The Charles Barkley Kaiju gene, part of the Godzilla collection. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Just that's it.
Melody Murray says, I interviewed Steve Kerr today.
Really?
No denim talk, but I was wearing my pagoda Selvedge.
Unbelievable. Nice. Steve Kerr, Chicago Bulls superstar.
That's really great.
That's incredible.
In our jeans.
Yeah.
Our jeans met Steve Kerr.
Thank you, Melody, for representing us in front of basketball royalty. Pedro writes, did Charles Barkley have a catchphrase? I don't recall one, but if you look up clips of him on YouTube, he has a fond feeling for the ladies of San Antonio. So just look up Charles Barkley and San Antonio women and prepare for a lot of laughter.
Unless you're a woman from San Antonio.
Yeah.
You
may not appreciate it. That. Yeah. But hey, sometimes the truth hurts. Burn. Roasted. Junior, clips of him are insane. I think Charles is the man. Pharmacist writes, Godzilla -1 on Blu-ray soon, or it came out back on May 1st. Did you get it yet? Bahzad and Risa. It's been out here in Japan for a while, but the Japan release doesn't have the English subtitle.
Yeah.
So I have to, next time I'm in the West, I will definitely pick up the 4K, and then I'll have the English subtitle. I just remember with Shin Godzilla, for some reason, the 4K English version didn't have like a 5.1. It was in stereo for some reason. Mm-hmm. But the Japan release obviously had a 5.1, but it didn't have the English subtitles.
That's
very odd.
Yeah. That's weird.
Anyhow, it's
Maybe
a little.
they fixed that.
Hold
Maybe
on.
they have
Let me go
new
double
version.
check that because I want to be sure when I make a claim like that.
That seems like a. I don't know. I feel like the market wouldn't make that happen. Or market will fix that if that was the case. Anyways, we also have to go see Godzilla attacks on a Tokyo metropolitan building.
Yeah.
That was happening on weekends apparently. So they're.
So yeah, okay on. Yeah, audio, Dolby True HD Japanese 3.1 and Dolby True HD English 3.1. So it wasn't stereo, but it's a 3.1. I'm like, even on the Japanese, even if you wanted to watch this in Japanese with the English subtitle, it's only in 3.1. I don't know why it's not in like full surround. So a little annoyed by that, but anyhow, there you go.
Yeah, so Godzilla is projected onto our metropolitan building
Yeah.
on weekends, and we gotta go see it because I don't think they're gonna do this forever.
No, it's a pretty.
It might be all done also.
Oh, well, we'll find out. But yeah, there's a giant projection. Like, Tokyo City Hall is ginormous. And it's just a projection of Godzilla busting through the building, which I think is pretty cool to see a life-size Godzilla out and about. All right. Okay. Was there another... I feel like there was another hot topic I had, but maybe it... I don't remember it. I thought I had a hot topic. Sometimes I got to write these things down because I definitely can't remember it all. You know what I haven't done yet? I haven't asked you guys to do something so kind. And that kind thing is to hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button yet, now's a great time to do it. It's the best time to do it. There's never been a better time than right now to hit that like button.
Yeah.
And of course, if you haven't subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button right now, and we'll welcome you to the family.
Do it now.
Listen to Risa. It's always guided me in the right direction. BD writes, I'd visit Japan just for the Godzilla content. There's quite a lot of Godzilla content, and this is some of it. But yeah, you can see that is the projection mapping of Godzilla busting through City Hall there. A great disaster to be a part of.
There's no end to it. There's no end date, so it's probably still going on.
All right. Well, we're gonna when we see it, we'll try to share some of that with you on our Instagrams. But yeah, the Godzilla collection, as far as updates, we're still in contract time right now. It's still being discussed.
This is the most boring part of the.
The problem is because there's like a Toho America and then there's a Toho Japan, and like Japan always takes its time. And of course, look,
they're dealing with probably
they're dealing with so much right now with the hype around Godzilla -1. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people looking to get in on all the action. So naturally, it has to come across somebody's table, and then they have to go through and do their due diligence, and then send it back to America. Then America's got to deal with us. So that's what's going on right now. As far as the collection planning, the design work, I've already got it all worked out. But yeah, if we can only get that Charles Barkley connect, we'll make that part of it. But yeah, I'm excited because that will be the next big one that we're working on. I know Brandon is. We're trying to secure some other properties. Yeah, we can talk about it. But the other ones that I'm chasing right now are Ghost in the Shell, Akira. So if we can get those two lined up, that would be great. And then we're gonna aim for Alien. So that's another big one that we gotta get Alien. We gotta get Scream. So we've all of these we've talked about before, but those are the ones that we're targeting. But Godzilla is the one that is currently in the works. So hopefully we'll
a realistic project.
Yeah, but as you guys know from watching how the JoJo project went down, it takes a while.
It
takes a long time. There's a lot of people who have to, approve things, and
it's so funny because now JoJo's we sold it, and I think most of it's gone. It's out of our life completely.
Yeah.
And I just kind of feel like there's a JoJo-sized hole in my life.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean?
It was a big part of our day-to-day, just constantly getting things approved and changing and this and that and.
Yeah, well, my involvement was less than day-to-day, but it still was because it was 6 jeans, and there was a lot of work and a lot of time, more time than anything. Usually our seasonal collection, we're in it, we design, there's a break between that and then actually booking, and then from that to selling, there's breaks. Whereas JoJo was a constant for 2.5 years or something. And
we were watching so much JoJo over that time as well. So
it was just kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a JoJo-sized hole in my heart.
Yeah.
It's true. Steve Lewis writes, Alien is my favorite franchise and Scream is my wife's favorite. All over that if it happens. We're going to try our best to make that happen just for you. The Toaster Pilot writes, take my money. We promise we will. Stephen Kobelcam, any chance of an old school monster movie collab like Frankenstein or Wolfman?
Frankenstein.
While it's not going to be a movie collab, we are making the Frankenstein Denim. So we have the undyed Frankenstein Denim that is available right now, the natural ecru alternating twill denim, coming for spring-summer 25. The OG Frankenstein Denim is coming back. So this has never been redone, ever.
Well, when was it that was done?
Ooh, this must have been 2011. The original Frankenstein, we did Frankenstein 2, which I think was black, and then we did a Frankenstein 3, which was beige, and then a beige warp.
3?
I think so. No,
brown. There was a brown one.
There was a brown one. Yeah.
What was that? That was.
I think that's Frankenstein 3. I could be wrong, but all I know is that the original Frankenstein, the indigo one, as legendary as it is, it never got remade. We never made it again. So it's finally coming back I'm excited. The closest ever was Toxic Avenger.
Right. Indigo with green, a light green left.
So, anyhow, that's if you want. It's not a monster movie collab. It's not the Universal monster movie collab. Although one day maybe that would be kind of cool to do. Dracula and the Mummy and that kind of stuff. Frankenstein Denim is coming back. That is a guarantee for summer 25. Pedro writes, on mornings when it's foggy, sometimes I see Wolfman running alongside my car. I've been super lucky because he will see a deer and has a snack, and I zoom off. Where do you live?
That is, okay.
Well, that's something.
That's good to know.
Bahzad just said my favorite word, toxic. Yeah, toxic. So, one day, maybe a toxic elephant, but at the very least, we have the original Frankenstein Denim coming back. So, 15, 16 ounce indigo left-hand twill, right-hand twill, alternating twill denim with a big slub yarn, no anti-skewing, and it's just a mishmash of so much all coming together. And I think it'll be a bigger impact this time because when we released it back then, I mean, we were such a small brand back then. Now, the amount of eyes that will be able to see this. And there's probably a good amount of you, I'm going to say probably over 90% of the current Naked and Famous Denim fan base, probably never even seen this before. You know, if you've discovered us only in the last like 2 or 3 years, man, you don't know about Frankenstein Denim. You don't, like, you saw it maybe with the undyed Frankenstein, but wait till you see the power of that indigo dyed one.
Right. And it's not like there's a YouTube video about it.
No.
Right.
No.
So it's,
So I'm looking forward to that one big time. At the end of June you'll see a little preview of that. Will the True Guy Undyed be restocked for the summer? John Chan writes, no, it will not be restocked for the summer. Any of the spring-summer collection items that you see available now, they will not be
it wouldn't be restocked. There might be some things that, you know, we find randomly, or we clear out, like, because we have 2 warehouses.
Yeah.
One for wholesale, one for retail. So we sometimes just, you know, have something left in the main
in the wholesale warehouse
that we just bring over. So there might be a little bit of movement from now towards the end of end of the season, but not like a full-size run restock or anything like that. That would never happen.
Yeah. So if you see your size, get it. Here's just an easy tip. If you see one size up, maybe you're a 32 is your best size. You can't get it, get the 33. Don't get the 31. 31's gonna be too small. Get the 33. It's the summertime where things are a little bit looser. You're gonna be a lot more comfortable in it. You know, in the episode of This Week at Tati and Yoko, you know, a good example of sizing up was when you saw that Vincent and Vinny comparison, where Vincent was wearing the strong guy in his size, and Vinny was wearing a True Guy sized up like 4 times. And like look-wise, they were very similar. I don't know why Vinny doesn't just wear the strong guy, but anyhow, he likes to wear the jeans the way he likes to wear his jeans. There's no wrong way to do that. But you can wear a jean quite big, and it'll still look normal on you, even if 4 sizes. Anyhow, he's got it tucked in with a belt or however way he's covering it. The waist, you're probably going to bunch in a little bit, but 1 size up is going to be no problem. No problem.
Especially after you wash it. Like in the beginning when it's crunchy, you might feel like it's, just kind of sticking out and it's a little bit too big, too cumbersome. But like once you wash it, it starts to, drape nicer, and it would just be, you would be glad that you took the bigger size. Yeah. I'm wearing size 30 now. So
yeah, that's it. She's wearing Risa's wearing my jeans.
Men's.
Yeah. Nima writes, Can you ask for your specific waist measurement in the comments box when you check out on Tate and Yoko? You order tag size 30 and the waist size 30.5 inches? No, you cannot do that.
You look at the
size chart.
Guys.
The size chart is there for your convenience. Don't order a size and then say, send me the jean with this measurement.
Yeah.
We're going to send you whatever size you ordered. And if you leave a comment like that, you're just going to prolong how long it's going to take you to ship. Because if you order a size 30, it takes a size 30 out of our inventory. And say you need a 31, well, it's going to take us some back and forth to figure out what's going on here. We're going to have to refund you. You're going to have to place your order again. Don't do that. Order according to the measurement charts. Those charts they're there for you. They're guaranteed for plus minus half an inch. So if that much space means the difference between the jeans fitting and not fitting, you've got the wrong size completely. So just find the size that fits you the best. Make sure you got a little bit of room, and you're gonna be happy. When you buy your jeans online, don't think, hey, I'm gonna get the 30. I need a 30.5, but I'm gonna get the jean with the measurement with a 30, and they're gonna stretch out. Because guess what? They might stretch out, but there's no guarantee that they're gonna stretch out.
But I'm supposing you would need a size 30 standing up. How you need a lot more room when you sit down. You need like so much more room. So you might as well, like, it's not gonna fall off your butt if it's an inch bigger.
Yeah, and you're gonna be a lot more comfortable in jeans that are a little bit bigger. if jeans are a little bit bigger versus a little bit smaller, you can wear them. If the jeans are a little small, they're just uncomfortable all day. You're not going to want to wear those jeans, and your fly is just going to be begging for a relief all day. Don't do it. Get
your crotch.
Yeah. So wear your jeans a little on the big side, and you will be much happier with them. And they will last you longer. Less stress on the waist, less stress on the hardware. As I'm presuming most of our audience here is men, our Google Analytics is like because you can see it on the back end, it's like 99.7% men. So as men, I know there's ladies here too, but as men, as we get older, we get a little wider. That's just
women too.
Women too. Women too. I don't comment on women's because it's not what a gentleman does. But I'm a man. And,
human beings.
Yeah. People
have lower metabolism as they get older.
Yeah. So we get a little bit more this way. And if you get a little bit more this way, it's kind of nice to have a garment. It's got a little extra room to accommodate for a long weekend, a holiday weekend, a big meal, whatever it is. So.
Oh, just sitting in your car all day sometimes.
Right. Or just being comfortable.
Yeah.
Right? So embrace that. When I was younger, I tried to wear the jeans as tight as possible because number one, I thought they looked good, and they probably did. I was a skinny young man in tight jeans. You could read the date off a dime on one of those. But
probably walking like Kramer in the...
I probably was. But as I've gotten older, I've gained more wisdom from all of my denim experiences, and I'm just sharing them with you. And if you could avoid a few mistakes that I've made in my path, then I would encourage you to do so. But sometimes it's a learning experience. You're gonna learn it on your own. It happens. But size up a little. You can sum up every live stream with size up a little. The Raven says. That's it.
That's the word of wisdom.
Do whatever you want in your jeans.
Yeah.
Wear them, wash them however you want. They're gonna fade. There's almost no stopping that. Mm-hmm. And size up a little.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. It's really, this raw denim thing's pretty easy. John Chan, Bahzad, what size is your chore coat? Does the Craftsman fit more relaxed and drape? That is a nice looking jacket. I'm wearing a medium jacket. I'm 175 pounds, 175 pounds and 5'8". I think the medium fits me pretty good. I could get a sweatshirt underneath this if I need to. If I really wanted to wear a large, I bet I could, but hold on, I gotta work this zipper here.
You haven't washed this, huh?
I haven't washed it yet. So, I think it fits me pretty nice. Yeah, sleeves are fine. Actually, the sleeves were a little long, but I would roll up my sleeves anyways just because it's a little more comfortable. Okay. Pedro, don't keep them nice for the next person. Wear them, people. That's true. What's going to happen to your jeans when you get old and gray and you never wore them? You're just holding these jeans for the next person, right? Which could be nice. Depends on who they're going to be handed down to.
Your son.
Yeah.
Or daughter.
But try to enjoy the things that you have. But to be fair, that could be a lot of different things. Enjoying your things can mean just enjoying their presence or enjoying using them.
Yeah. But I bet your son or daughter who's going to get your jeans
will probably appreciate them.
Would appreciate you wearing them.
Yeah. But, it's true. They would much rather have your well-loved jeans, knowing that you wore them and, you cherished that item, than something that you never used. Maybe you did like that item. Maybe you did love that item. But I guess the idea of, like your watch, if it's all worn and scratched, and it means you used it, right? And so you give that to somebody, and they're like, that's the watch my dad, my whoever wore every day. And that, when I wear it, it has a very special meaning versus that was just something they had.
Something he had, yeah. I mean, especially if it's like a close person, friend or family or whatever, then they also have a memory of you wearing whatever that is. And I think that adds to that.
Yeah,
so.
it's true. Elliot Mayer writes, what's the wackiest thing y'all have in the pipeline? What do we have in wacky tobacco land? Elephant red core, I think, is pretty wacky.
Pretty out there, yeah.
That is a very special denim lover. So we've got our red core series. We've got our elephant heavyweight series, kabliggity blam, worlds colliding, something is happening to something, dogs are wearing pants, hot dogs are the buns now, and the bun is the hot dog. Something like that.
I didn't get that.
Obviously, my comedy career has fallen flat on its face.
We should have called it Red-Blooded Elephant.
Red-Blooded Elephant. That would have been a good name. An alternate universe land.
Yes.
That's what it would have been called. But we've got a super heavyweight denim that will fade to a bloody red. And knowing just how prominent those fade and wear lines happen on a heavyweight jean and the speed at which a heavyweight jean fades, then you combine the bright red that's going to come through. These jeans are going to fade like crazy. They're going to be a very, very crazy fading jean. Definitely for those people who want something extra special. Nothing's been made like this ever before. Mm-hmm. So this is a world's first in this realm. So to me, that's the wildest thing we've got going on right now. Preston writes, I'd like to buy a pair online. I have a muffin top with a 38-inch waist with bigger thighs. Should I be looking at Strong Guy, perhaps? I'm 8 hours from Montreal, so it's too far to the store. No problem. Preston, if you are in the Toronto area, there's a lot of options for you to check out our products there. So if you're in Toronto, check out Dutil or Over the Rainbow or Gerhard Supply. We've got a lot of options for you there. 38 waist with bigger thighs. You want to try our Easy Guy, or you want to try the Strong Guy. The Strong Guy has a wider leg opening at the bottom. It's not for everybody. Though the Easy Guy with its tapered leg is a little bit, I would say has a little more mainstream appeal in terms of its fit. Mm-hmm. So I think you might want to start there. Mm-hmm. Because I think sometimes the Strong Guy might, if the wide leg look is what you're going for, it's a great fit for that. But for some people who don't want to be maybe as I would call that a more fashion forward, mm-hmm. then the Easy Guy is going to be your perfect daily driver. Yeah.
Strong Guy is fashion forward or heritage.
Yeah. 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 You either have to be have a very heritage look about you. That's your outfit. You're wearing engineer boots and denim vests and Wabash shirts. Great. Or you're wearing it very street. Mm-hmm.
Those two kinds of people finally have something in common.
Yeah, it's true. I'm in Sudbury. Well, if you're in Sudbury, if you're going to be in the Toronto area, try out some of our retail partners out there, and or give them a call first. Make sure that they have an Easy Guy for you to try on, and it's always best to try it on mm-hmm. if you can. Yeah. If not, try follow our measurement guides, and you'll get it. Or if you still have questions, just call up the store, Tate and Yoko, our store in Montreal, and we'll walk you through the process mm-hmm. as well. So there you go. Bob writes, is True Guy the same fit as Easy Guy with a straight leg, or are there other differences?
True Guy is more like a weird guy with a straight leg.
Yeah, that's it. True Guy and the Weird Guy are closer. Yeah. Easy Guy and Strong Guy have a similar top block, but
very different leg shape.
Very different leg shape. That's it. Okay, guys.
Is it time?
It's time. It is time because we have a very weird snack for you
I'm very
today.
excited about this because this could be either gross or very good. But either way, it's going to be interesting. So this is a caramel corn snack. This is a very popular series. It's usually sweet. They have like, maple flavor or like, just regular caramel or the strawberry flavor or whatever.
That said, it's not popcorn. It's more like a Cheeto in terms of its shape.
Covered in
like a caramel
sauce.
Yeah.
It's a very good snack. Mm-hmm. They came out with sweet and spicy yum yum flavor. This is the Korean like chicken, wing, Korean chicken wing kind of flavor.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will be good or not. It is sweet and spicy, savory.
Sweet and spicy with caramel corn flavor.
Sweetness, yeah. So it could be good, to be honest.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I love some Korean barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's try it out in corn snack form. And I do enjoy these snacks. They're very sweet. And I almost specifically avoid them because I will destroy a bag in no time.
And it's sweet and light. Like you get the crunch and then it's like air inside.
Yeah, you can crush a bag of these in no time. And of course,
sound very smooth.
Yeah.
And of course, it has a cute little chicken face on it. All right. So that's what you get in the bag.
It looks like a giant like caterpillar.
Don't say that. That's gross.
Look at it.
That is gross.
They're nice, but you can see you can see the glistening of sugar coating on there. How does it smell?
What does it smell like? It smells like something very familiar.
I can smell some of the spice, like a chili spice a little bit.
All right.
But it smells sweet and chili.
All right, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. It's just like...
It's great. It's like...
And then it has a little tingle of spice at the end there.
It's like...
And they're very light. They're very light. They're so light.
It definitely has that Korean flavor, that like garlicky, like... garlicky, like chili kind of flavor. It's not spicy, but it does...
There's a hint of heat on there. Very, very mild. But it works really well with the sweetness, the sugariness of this. These are great. Oh, these are really great.
It's like kettle corn. Like it just, as an idea, you're like, how would I feel about it? But it goes really, really well together.
I feel very strongly about this.
This is very good.
It's a high-ranking snack. I already like the regular caramel corn. I like it a lot.
Oh, I like this one more because I just sometimes don't like just the caramel.
Yeah, right. It's a very... It's the regular caramel kind of feels like it's for kids because it's so sweet. Mm-hmm. Even though, us, it's not it doesn't have a mature taste to it at all.
What do you know about mature?
I'm a mature guy. Whereas the heat here that it gives it a little bit more of a...
I can't stop eating this. This is good.
An adult flavor, I think. So I like these a lot. A lot. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is a good recommendation.
This is in I'm going 8-8 on this. This is a high rank.
8-8.
High rank. 8-8.
Very high.
These are gonna get destroyed after the live stream.
Mm-hmm. It's very good. It is very, very good. I like it.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it, everybody. A wonderfully positive review for the caramel corn with the Korean yum yum chicken spice.
Yum yum.
See, Risa
I don't know the Korean translations, but or pronunciations. But yeah, we have like a trendy flavor in Japan. Like, it's very recognizable. Like every season, it has like a flavor that is just on everything. And last season, it's not like the most current wave, but the last one was this yum yum chicken flavor, and this is the greatest take on that flavor that I've encountered.
Okay, we got to end it off with two things.
Okay.
John Chan, do you buy your snacks mostly from Family Mart and 7-Eleven? I'm going to go with mostly is actually not the case.
Yeah, we go to the discount snack store.
There's a discount snack store.
Because they end up with like a lot of weird snacks. Because there are snacks that are maybe they didn't do so well, or they have like overage from like at the main supermarket.
Or like, some of the products that are in convenience stores, or just not just convenience stores, but in general, sometimes they're just seasonal items.
Yeah, they go in and out very quickly.
So Japan is very good with that, where just products come, you see them for 3 months, and they're gone. You're never going to see them again. So
3 months is a long time span for snacks. Sometimes you only see it for like a month, and then it's just like you never see it again.
Yeah.
So
what happens at the end of the lifespan of those products? Because they're supposed to only be on the shelves for a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. By the time that is ending, usually they'll send the stock to like the discount snack stores, and then they'll have all kinds of random and weird stuff. And of course, because we like to find random and weird stuff, we go there. But anytime we do walk into a convenience store, we have our eyes out for anything that's new. Mm-hmm. And same with the grocery store. The grocery store, they always have the newest stuff. Mm-hmm. But usually it's at the discount snack store where they have all kinds of random things that make for great content.
Okay.
And then the Japanese word of the week.
Yeah. So sorry that it's always related to food word, but I think that's everybody's favorite topic, especially when it comes to Japanese. So I'm going to go with amakara. Amakara means sweet and spice, literally. But it's just like a word to describe that kind of, taste group, that is something sweet and savory usually at the same time. It's not necessarily spicy, it's more like sweet and savory combo.
Ama is like for candy, like ame.
Amai is the adjective for sweet.
Sweet, right. And then kara is karai for spicy.
Spicy.
So
but again, like we use this word in not really in focusing on the karai. Karai as in like, sometimes we use it as like a salty, like savory.
Oh, okay.
So
anyhow, Risa's better at Japanese than I am, but I can see, at least I can picture how these words have maybe come together.
Yeah, it's literally amai and karai put together, amakara.
Amakara.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, another thing is the Japanese people like to
squish words together.
Yeah. Like make shorter version of words.
Aomidori. So the MIJ 12 is called the Aomidori, which means
blue-green. Aomidori is actually, so historically, it's very interesting. It might be a little bit longer.
This is a good topic. I know what you're going to get into.
Yeah, so like in Japan, we call green off, like, some things that like modern Japanese people or like modern any people would consider to be green. Back in the days, we used to call it blue.
Yeah.
So like the green lights, like the signals for roads, they're called aoshingo. Even though it's not blue, it's actually the same color as like the American green light.
Yeah.
But we call it blue because it's just...
Back in the day, people saw green and blue as the same color tone.
Yeah.
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 In Japan.
Basically. Yeah.
So an older generation will still think of it that way.
Yeah, but it's also, there's a gradation where like blue becomes green and green becomes blue. And when it's closer to blue, it's like the green of the leaves are green. It's not necessarily always called blue, though sometimes they call it blue. But it's there's a distinction between the yellowish green and bluish green, and bluish green like used to be called blue basically. But aomidori is just like to describe that little mix of both, mix of those
because
two colors.
When you dye with indigo, it starts off with like yellow to green, and then it turns to blue. And anyhow, this is an indigo denim with a little bit of green in it that will fade to a greenish shade of blue over time. So the Aomidori, this is coming out next Friday, the newest MIJ edition. We're going to drop a video next week going over all the details of the MIJ 12 Aomidori Selvedge. So watch out for that. There's a lot of good video content coming soon. Garrett just sent me his a Japan travel vlog video. So that's going to, I'll probably drop that one out tomorrow for Sunday. So watch.
All right.
Sunday, anyhow, it's Friday now. Anyway, I'll drop that one on Sunday, and then there's a fade review coming out as well. Then we'll have the Aomidori video coming out on Monday. This week at Tati and Yoko on Wednesday. There's a lot of videos coming up this week, so I hope you guys enjoy them and tune into each and every single one of them. We'll leave it there. But before you go, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for everybody for watching. If you watch from the start to the beginning, or even if you're just joining us now, we appreciate you guys being here. And we're going to end off with one last question. Andreas, where do you guys live in Japan? We are broadcasting live from Yokohama, Japan, the intergalactic space headquarters of Naked and Famous Denim. And we'll be back again next week with a live stream. Same bat time, same bat channel, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. And we'll see you guys then. Do something nice for yourselves and do something nice for somebody else.
Have a nice weekend,
All right.
everybody.
There you go. All right. Bye everyone.